Standing here on Earth, it seems obvious. The sun rises, the moon sets, the stars wheel overhead. Everything looks like it revolves around us. And for most of human history, we believed exactly that. The ancient Greeks watched the skies carefully. They saw that most stars stayed fixed in their patterns, but a few lights drifted through the heavens. They called them planetae, the wanderers. Today, we call them planets. To predict their paths, Claudius Ptolemy created a model. The Earth at the center, the planets circling around it in perfect circles. But the planets sometimes seem to loop backwards, in retrograde, so Ptolemy added circles upon circles called ellipticals. For centuries, this geocentric model was accepted, but it grew more complicated with every adjustment, and it still couldn't explain what the heavens were really doing. Then came a bold idea. In the 1500s, Nicholas Copernicus suggested the Earth was not the center at all. The sun stood at the center, with Earth just another planet circling it. A century later, Galileo turned his telescope to Jupiter and saw tiny moons orbiting that planet, proof that not everything revolved around Earth. Johannes Kepler refined the model even further. Planets didn't move in perfect circles, but in ellipses. At last, the math matched the sky. It was a shocking revelation. We were no longer the center. We were just one small world orbiting an ordinary star. But the story didn't end there. For centuries, people believed the Milky Way was the entire universe. Then, in the 1700s, William Herschel counted thousands of stars and realized we lived inside a giant disk, a galaxy. Later, astronomers discovered that even our sun was not central. Everything in the Milky Way orbits an invisible giant at its core, a supermassive black hole, 4 million times the mass of our sun. We call it Sagittarius A star. Once again, the center had shifted. Our world circled the sun, and our sun itself circled a black hole in the depths of our galaxy. And then, in 1929, Edwin Hubble made another astonishing discovery. The light from distant galaxies was stretched, shifted towards the red. It meant those galaxies were moving away from us, and the farther they were, the faster they fled. The universe was expanding. This led to a radical conclusion. If space is stretching outward today, then in the past it must have been smaller, denser, hotter. Run the clock backwards, and everything we see was once compressed into a single point. This gave rise to the Big Bang Theory, the idea that the universe itself had a beginning, not an explosion in space, but the birth of space and time themselves. The Hubble Space Telescope later aimed at what seemed to be an empty patch of sky. Instead of darkness, it revealed thousands of galaxies. Every point in the universe teems with worlds. And in this expanding universe, there is no single center. Any point, in fact any object, can be considered the center. From Earth to the Sun, to the galaxy, to the universe itself, every step has reminded us that our place is smaller than we thought. And yet, in a very real sense, it can be said the whole universe revolves around you.
Subscribe for more Explorer stories, cosmic perspectives, and behind-the-scenes looks at my upcoming cruise lectures.